Hello everybody, my name is Daulton Nelson and today I'd like to give my thoughts on a game I just beat. That game being Dynamite Headdy for the PC. Dynamite Headdy was developed by Treasure, published by Sega, and it is a 2D platformer. For those of you who have been following this channel this year, I've been taking a pretty deep dive into Treasure's classic library, playing many of their games and giving them high praise in the process. However, of all of those games that I've been playing, I haven't really plunged into their Genesis era too much. I mean, I started this off with Alien Soldier, and even revisited my favorite game of theirs fairly recently, Gunstar Heroes. So the next logical progression for me is the game Treasure released the following year, Dynamite Headdy, a platformer that is highly praised by Genesis enthusiasts. I was quite excited to play this one because it looked really silly and colorful. Treasure has been surprising me all year, and now with Dynamite Headdy, they have surprised me yet again. By it being my least favorite game of theirs thus far, which is unfortunate. As I said, Dynamite Headdy is a really colorful and expressive game. The entire game is saturated with some great color schemes going on here, pulling from some childlike primary colors. The sprite work can also be very impressive, with tons of fantastic designs and technical ability to go around. Heck, if you want to see Treasure at the top of their boss game, this is it. Dynamite Headdy has some of the most memorable bosses in their catalog. This art style works very well with the overall wacky and absurd antics Headdy throws at you. There's things like a fight with a giant toy dog while classical music plays, or pulling a lever and having the background of the stage fold up and reveal its skeletal inner workings. There's also some humor thrown in, from self-aware humor like the signs at the beginning of the game, to totally absurd stuff, where you can't help but laugh at what's going on the screen. However, none of that makes up for the game's shortcomings. One of the most immediate negative qualities of this game is its difficulty. Dynamite Headdy is frustrating to deal with, bringing any normal player to probably quit the game out of rage. There are some pretty unfair cheap shots going on here, as well as background elements such as colliders and health values that have been tweaked so that players will most likely hate the game after they're done. It should be noted that I played the American version of the game, which was made deliberately harder at the request of Sega of America, due to a combative relationship with video game rentals at the time. So I'm not exactly playing Treasure's original vision of the game here, but I don't think that makes the experience of playing through this that much better. One, because even with Sega digitally re-releasing the game, players are still only getting the American version. That's what they're buying. And two, even if the game was made easier in the back end, there is still some more to Headdy that I dislike. Like the soundtrack to the game. I found a lot of the tracks to be grating. Nothing really stood out to me in terms of a memorable composition here. I also didn't care for how cryptic the game could be at times, like the story which I never really quite got what was going on, or the secret bonus points which seem pretty arbitrary. I also thought some of Treasure's experimentation on here could be obnoxious, like the boss in Backstage Battle, where you can't control your movement, or Stair Wars, where you're stuck in the middle of the stage and can't dodge right or left. Which is a shame, because there are ideas that do work here, like the game turning into a side-scrolling shooter all of a sudden, or the boss Spinderella, where you have to walk in this 3D space to attack the enemy's back. That stuff is great, and technically impressive. I also thought the main mechanic of launching your head around to do things, like attack and grab, was fine, but is it as exciting as other mechanics, such as Gunstar Heroes' weapon swapping, or Bangai-O's ultimate missile attack? No. At the end of it all, I really just wanted to be done with the game. I was frustrated, save stating like hell, and looking up exploits to win my way through, which I don't want to do in a video game. So I'm gonna give Dynamite Headdy a final score of a 4 out of 10. I know I'm in the minority on this one, so hopefully as I play more of Treasure's games, Dynamite Headdy will be like a dud, or the game that I just didn't get. That concludes my review of Dynamite Headdy. If you like my reviews, you can like, comment, or subscribe. You can also check out my online portfolio, where I display video game works that I've done. And with that out of the way, please make sure to have a nice day.